foundation of today's class. Most professionals think that their problem is their mouth, so they say things like, I need to learn how to talk better, I need to learn how to say it right, I need to improve my vocabulary, but no. The problem is upstream. The problem is your thinking. Smart speaking is only the harvest. Smart thinking is the seed. If your seed is bad, your harvest will be poor. Let me show you today how smart thinking makes speaking smarter. Hello, I am Leslie Grace, the confidence coach, the one who sent to you as busy professionals all over the world to master smart thinking, smart reading, smart thinking, smart speaking. Of course, with these 3 LI skills, you can unlock unshakable confidence. Have you invited someone to this live? Welcome to today's live section. Hit the subscribe button if you have not. Today, I want to show you 16 ways smart thinking makes speaking smarter. And then, of course, I'll be giving you the secret formula for how to maximize and optimize your mind, proven ways to organize your thoughts before speaking, even though the speech is impromptu. And then I'll be giving you the 3-box rule, the traffic light method, and then of course I'll be giving you everything that can show you how to speak smarter. And I'll be giving you the mindset formula using the acronym THINK that can help you become a smart speaker. So today you want to actually sit on this live, get a pen, a journal, and a pen, and sit to hear this conversation today, and you will learn a whole lot. Invite someone to join this conversation today. And I know smart thinking helps your speaking become smarter. And I'll be showing you 16 ways it does. Once again, welcome to this conversation today. Number 1, clarity in your head equals clarity in your words. If you can't say it clearly in your mind, you won't say it clearly in your mouth. So this is why it seems like you are struggling with saying it out. You have these words, but they don't come out well. The thing is, you've not been able to process it smartly in your head, hence the struggle in delivering it smartly with your mouth. And of course, I'll be showing you how to do that today as well. So what you want to do is to actually just take note of the ways it can improve you, then stick to this conversation. We would give you the way you can actually become a smart thinker so that you can speak smarter. Number 2, order in your thoughts equals structure in your speech. When you arrange ideas mentally, your audience doesn't hear confusion. They hear sequence. When your thoughts are organized in your head, what your audience tastes, when you deliver those words out, they actually taste sequence, not confusion. Have you ever been in an audience before that the speaker is literally giving us confusion? We're wondering what is going on, but all we're hearing is confusion. Sequence is not there. Order is not there. Too many professionals are giving us crassy speech. Let's end that circle today. And how do we end that circle? We're ending that circle today because we're giving you the smart thinking formula so that you can speak better. But the mistake most professionals make is they just think that I can just get off stage and I just say anything. Their thoughts are not patterned in such a way that it can work together with their mouth to give a better and a smarter speech. Number 3, let's talk about speed of thoughts. Speed of thoughts equals flow of speech. Now, the faster you think, the smoother you sound. Again, thank you for joining today's live. Have you hit the subscribe button? Share this live with someone that is struggling with speaking better. Let them join this conversation. It's absolutely for free, so they can learn a whole lot just spending their short break here. Okay, think about Jesus. What happened to him when he was answering the Pharisees on the spot? No stuttering, no fumbling. You can see speed of thought working there. No, don't just say it's the anointing. No, it's actually speed of thoughts happening right there. So what happened to Jesus happened to most professionals. You're supposed to hold the staff. But Angela, I have to be at my child's school for something urgent before they resume. So just hold on for the meeting. That is you facing that moment that Jesus faced with the Pharisee that just came and said, oh, this woman has done this. I mean, the on-the-spot speeches happen a lot in the professional space. I remember a professional that wrote to me recently and she said, you have been talking about this impromptu speech and you said there's nothing like impromptu speech. This is a professional that took a small speaking course and she said, you said that there's nothing like impromptu speech. And yes, oh, by the way, I say it. And she said, I always got myself ready for speeches every day. Before I get to work, I get ready. I tell myself that today is a day of speech. And then she says, I went to work the other day only to find out that my direct executive had a health crisis that morning, and she can't show up at work the whole week. Now we'll have a conference that she has been the speaker, and her absence means that and the man said to me, Coach, this thing you have been saying is true. And I keep saying it. I say it to smart speakers all the time. There is nothing like impromptu speech. It doesn't exist. When we give you the smart thinking, smart speaking formula, you will understand that there's nothing like impromptu speech. You wake up as a professional, getting ready for speeches. You shouldn't be caught impromptu. Because take a look at what happened to Jesus. They just met him and they said, this woman has done this. They brought the adulterous woman to him. There was no fumbling. There was no stuttering. He gave them a response that made them take decisions. Now, the thing is, because you are a professional, you're in the professional workspace, decision making is your aim each time you speak. You're not speaking to entertain. You're not a comedian. You're not an entertainer. You are speaking to influence decisions. You want your listeners to leave taking a decision, either to buy your product or stick for your service. Hello, Anua. I see everybody. Hello, everybody. And I mean, that's what you want. You want them to buy your product, get your service. You want them to do something for you, in the professional space. Or you want them to pick you for that job. So your speaking is towards decision making. You cannot take away your speed of thoughts. Speed of thought is what equals flow of speech. The faster you think, the smoother you sound. That was what happened to Jesus at that moment. He was able to answer the Pharisees on the spot. No stuttering, no fumbling, no fluff. Number 4, smart thinking filters noise. See, when your brain is sharp, you know what not to say. Because have you been in a place where a professional finished speaking and you're wondering what just happened to him? The thing is, he was not able to link up smart thinking with smart speaking. And that's what I'll be teaching you today. How to link up your smart thinking with your smart speaking. So you don't just speak like that and you're wondering why your audience isn't taking the right decision that you want them to take or doing the things you want them to do. No, it's beyond just talking. Okay? Smart thinking is what filters the noise. When your brain is sharp, you know what to say. Smart speakers are not those who say the most, but they are those who say what matters most. A professional gets on stage, speaks for 10 minutes, and what did he just say? We're confused because there was just too much noise, but no message. Number 5, thinking sharp gives confidence. I know that your concern is to speak smart, but you see, today I want to expand to you how to think smart. If you can think smart, your speech will be smarter. Your speech actually is a product of your thoughts. Now, you may not have had this before, you may not have, considered this before, but the truth is, you need to consider your thoughts. It is what produces the kind of speech you give. Nothing boosts your confidence like knowing your brain has your back. Do you know why you keep running away from unfamiliar speeches or unfamiliar situations? Because you think that your brain will disappoint you. You think that I'll just get there now. This brain will just go blank. How about we get this brain ready for those rainy days? And these rainy days can come anytime. Someone who joined a live on Saturday, interesting, sent me a message today. And he said, this thing you keep saying that these rainy days will come, it just happened to me. It keeps happening. You're in a professional workspace. In that meeting, your boss can just get up and say, you know what, Onye, I think you should be the one to do this presentation today. You cannot tell your boss no. Your job is on the line. And you also cannot afford to give a speech that after the speech, you're wondering how you got on this job. We're wondering how you passed the interview. Because you did not work on smart thinking to give you smart speaking. All right? Okay, so when you already work on your brain, it gives you better chance for better speeches. Number 6, smart thinking reduces filters. So you know that what happens to you? Those all those sentence fillers. Smart speaking reduces it. Why do people use fillers? Because their mind is scrambling. Because their mind is looking for the words. They cannot find it. But when your thoughts are lined up, you don't need to buy time with I think, no. Work on your mind, which is what I'll be teaching you today, how to make your mind process smarter, so that your speech is smarter as well. Hi, Coco. Okay, number 7. What smart thinking does for you is that it shortens long stories. As opposed to coming before an audience to come and give one long story or so many long stories and we don't even know what you're talking about, smart thinking compresses a 10-minute ramble into a 1-minute punchline that keeps the audience stuck. You know what the proverbs say, right? In the multitudes of words, sin is not lacking. But he who restrains his lips is wise. So when you work on your mind, you're actually restraining your lips. Because what you're saying now is punchlines, straight to the point. No long stories, no multitude of words that we are now looking for what the truth is. Number 8, smart thinking makes you memorable. Now, I know that your desire is to be that person that when you are done speaking, everybody will just know, oh, she said it. I love the way she sounded. Have you hit the subscribe button, by the way? Hit the subscribe button. Share this live with someone that should be here. That professional, that colleague, that one that is struggling with speech. Share this live with them. They should be in this conversation. Yes, I think so. And you think so too, don't you? Thank you. All right. So what smart thinking does to you is that it makes you become the speaker that is remembered. You know, I was in a conversation yesterday and somebody said to me that the presidents of a particular nation are always remembered for what they said. Now, professionals, I hope you know that. If you work in a space for 10, 15, 20 years, they may remember your work, but they remember your words even more. They will always say, and Christopher once said. Do you know that some of you who met your grandparents, they've long gone for some people, but you keep remembering their words. So you cannot afford to give out words carelessly. If you leave a place, your words will be remembered forever. If you ever ruled a nation, what they will remember most, your projects will be remembered, what you did, the infrastructure, all of that will be remembered, but most importantly to be how you spoke. So in time past, you see presidents like Abraham Lincoln, when they want to come out for a speech, they get ready. They get ready for it. They prepare their speech. You will always say, and Abraham Lincoln once said, and this person once said. What will people say that you said? If you want to be that speaker that when you are done, people can remember what you said, quote you, be that speaker that is always remembered, then you want to be able to speak better. Hit the subscribe button. You learn how to speak better. Every day we'll be here Mondays to Saturdays. We go live and then we keep sharing tips with you within the day on how to be a smart speaker, not public speaker. Leave that to your children. You are a professional. You should learn how to speak smarter. Okay. Number 9, what does smart thinking do for you? Smart thinking helps you read the room. Now, one thing what happens to you when you think smart is that you don't just focus on yourself. You scan the audience and adjust mid-speech. There's a way you will observe the audience and you just adjust what is needed to be adjusted. And I'll tell you a story. So once I went to co-MC an event, a corporate event. Oh yes, I do corporate MCing. And then while we're doing that MCing, I realized that there was something my co-MC had said that put off the audience. He didn't notice it. He had said it and he just kept on going. But he had said something. And I knew that from when he made that line, I don't want to say the particular line because it's going to be a bit. So when he said that, when he used that particular phrase, I knew the audience had been put off. So I kept on reading the audience. At a point, I had to signal one of the guys who were upstage working on the sound to come closer. So when the guy came, I just asked him, I said, is this some sort of, what's with the phrase and the audience? And he told me, okay, we do not believe that weekends are this kind of way because of religious innuendos and all. And I said, oh, okay, so that's what is causing this. And he said, yes. Now that was smart thinking right there. And so I had to signal my co-MC that do not use this phrase anymore. It's putting off your audience. It's putting off your audience. And immediately, we just switched. So that's what smart thinking does. It helps you read the room. Because when you think smart, you don't just focus on yourself. You are reading the room. You're scanning your audience. You are adjusting mid-speech, what needs to be done. Number 10, smart thinking helps you connect ideas. You see, smart thinkers think point A to point B. Their thoughts are sequential in a way that feels natural. It's like Paul in Acts, when Paul is connecting Old Testament prophecy to Christ. Like there's a connection. There's a connection between each word. Hello, Raphael. Have you hit the subscribe button? Everybody hit the subscribe button. We'll go live Mondays to Saturdays, sharing with you how to become a smart speaker, not just a public speaker. So if you're that professional that is struggling with how to speak, anytime you are before an audience you are unfamiliar with, you run away, you don't want to speak, you just feel like no, someone else should talk, that ends on this live. Mondays to Saturdays, we're here sharing with you smart speaking tips and how to become a smart speaker. So hit the subscribe button, share this live with someone that should be here. Okay, number 11. What smart thinking does for you. Smart thinking organizes emotions. So you see all of those emotional roller coaster that happens just because we said you should give a speech. Smart thinking will kill it. You are less likely to overreact or underreact when speaking if your smart thinking game is up, because your thoughts are under discipline. So most of the emotional roller coaster that happens, right, is because of a lack of disciplined thought pattern. Today I was going through the scripture on God has not given us the spirit of fear, and the part of self-control just hit me when I just saw that He has not given us the spirit of fear, but a power of love and of self-control. And I realized that, oh, so that means with confidence, when fear leaves the room, self-control walks in. And see, this is what the smart speaking course is all about. Confidence, communication, and commanding the room. The reason there is no power to command the room, the reason there is no love for effective communication, the reason there is no control of the nerves is because fear is present. It says God has not given us a spirit of fear. Meaning that the moment fear leaves, then we have these three gifts: power, love, self-control. And if these three are missing, it's because there's fear. They cannot coexist. They cannot coexist. The moment fear walks out of the room, the moment you realize that, oh, God has not given me the spirit of fear, fear is not in my history, then what I have is these three: power, love, self-control. These are the three things I have. These are the three things you have. All right? So what smart thinking does to you is that it puts your emotion under organization. Overreaction, excessive emotional stuff going here and there just because they said give a speech, it ends the moment your thinking is smarter. Hit the subscribe button. I know you're getting value already. All right? Number 12, it sharpens your timing. So smart thinkers know when to pause, when to punch, and when to push. Once your thoughts are aligned, you know when to practice the pause. Too many professionals want to give a speech and all they are doing is just talking. They are just going, the speech is just so much. No pause. They're not observing strategic pauses because the thoughts are not smart enough. And I'll be teaching you how to think smarter. Number 13, what does smart thinking do for you to make your speech better? It makes persuasion easier. Because your thoughts flow like a bridge, right? A bridge that people can walk across. So, what you want the audience to do